The disappointing spectacle of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson left fans disillusioned and unimpressed. Was Jake Paul's face the most punchable in boxing history? It certainly seemed like it, with all the self-satisfaction and inflated image of an influencer. His look, a bland, artificial creation, reeked of showmanship rather than toughness, complete with a bleached, poseur-esque beard and smirk. Fans, including many who had watched Tyson's legendary career, likely longed for Tyson to punch some sense into Paul, or at least make him earn his fame. In stark contrast, Mike Tyson entered the ring carrying the weight of real history, scars, and flaws. The 58-year-old, though worn by time, still had a glimmer of the fierce fighter who once dominated the heavyweight division. Tyson, who grew up in tough conditions in Brownsville, New York, and became the youngest undisputed champion, had a deeply troubled past, including time in prison and battles with addiction. His 50 wins, 44 by knockout, were a testament to his power, though not nearly as significant as his troubled journey to greatness. His autobiography, Undisputed Truth, provides a raw look at his life, one that Paul, the 27-year-old vlogger from Ohio, couldn't begin to understand. Paul, whose real-world accomplishments remain minimal, was born the same year Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear off. In 2017, Paul released It's Everyday, Bro, a song that celebrated his rapid rise on YouTube, boasting about his millions of followers and the success of his merchandise. The absurdity of his bragging was on full display during the build-up to this fight, a Netflix production marketed as a high-profile event, complete with Paul's promise to make $40 million and knock out Tyson. However, despite his bravado, Paul struggled against the much older Tyson, failing to land decisive blows against a fighter far past his prime. During the pre-fight press conference, Paul was asked when he would start fighting real contenders in his weight class. His response? "Dumbass," he muttered. One of the only real statements came from retired boxer Tony Bellew, who humorously suggested Paul try fighting a great-grandfather next. Tyson's involvement, however, was genuine. Hopefully, he received a fair payout for the circus. Tyson, who had said his training was excellent, knew the fight wasn't a real challenge. Paul's reputation as a fighter was nothing more than a carefully manufactured image, and Tyson recognized it. Even though Paul had trained hard, his experience in the ring was still minimal, having only started boxing 4 years ago. Several states even refused to allow wagers on the fight, recognizing that there was one retired champion and one social media personality with a lack of experience. Even Evander Holyfield, when asked if Paul could take a punch, shrugged. "I don't know. I've never seen him get hit," he said. While Tyson may have been past his prime, at least he brought some substance to the match. At the weigh-in, Tyson looked imposing, a sharp contrast to Paul's flashy, fabricated persona. The two squared off, with Tyson delivering a hard slap to Paul's cheek after Paul stepped on his foot, an encounter that seemed far more authentic than the planned theatrics of their rivalry. When the fight began, it felt like a joke compared to the legitimate bouts on the undercard, which included a thrilling welterweight championship fight and a brutal rematch between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Meanwhile, Paul entered the ring in $1 million Diamond Zone shorts, a spectacle that did little to mask the emptiness of the main event. Tyson, however, entered wearing simple black gear, embodying the grit of his past. But despite his attempts, Tyson's age showed, and he only managed 97 punches, landing just 18, leaving Paul to coast to a unanimous victory.